last year has really been about AD consolidation, trying to get on that one solid platform on the heels of our Office 365 project. Certainly a lot of different benefits that the new administration coming in, they're trying to put a new standard time, leave, and attendance system on, a lot of new technologies replacing some legacy technologies, but we want to base it on one controllable Active Directory. So we've been working hard. I think we have 2 agencies left, really, of 19 executive branch agencies. So we're well on our way to that. The few that we thought would be problematic were problematic and still dragging on, but at the very least we have a common enterprise Active Directory. Even those with their own forests authenticate their email through our enterprise Active Directory. We're going to base all our application permissions off that. So that's been a very big focus in the last year, continuing that, as well as our MDM Phase 1 rollout. So I think we talked last time about the Blackberries, our awesome Blackberries. They're all gone now, so we've replaced them all with Apple products. People have been very happy, but again, the first rollout was simply to replace that functionality, and they affectionately dubbed them the iBerries that we gave them, because we took this awesome iPhone and stripped it down to all they could do was what they could do on the BlackBerry. So that'll come up in what we're going to plan to do in the future. Certainly, as I just mentioned, MDM Phase 2, letting the Apple phone do what the Apple phone does. It's funny, the complaints or comments we get, the feedback from the people of how we're stripping them of their function to do their business. When they had the BlackBerry, I don't know how they did it before they had this iPhone, how we possibly survived, but absolutely leveraging that much better. We have a better MDM technology. The policy was a big tricky issue. We got around a lot of those issues, and now we're figuring out ways to roll out the App Store securely so that you're doing your work but not abusing the power of the iPhone. So it's a balancing act, trying to see how we enable workers to do what they can do mobile, and that's absolutely a big part of their job going forward. This new administration as well that we have coming in, big focus on customer service. So they want to measure metrics. They want our service desk to do more. They want to have like a full service catalog so that we clearly define and let people know what we do, how we do it, the standards and processes we have in place. And I think that will certainly help go hand in hand with the AD consolidation and be able to proceed in a consistent manner. And also leveraging that MDM technology within our own technicians. We should be able to have that iPhone, have a technician have all their tickets listed out in the priority order we want them to do them in and where we want them to do them. So I see a lot more productivity tools coming forward from our standpoint as well. I'd say the third priority would be collaboration tools. So we rolled out our Office 365, which was great, but it was mostly messaging and calendaring, the basic email functionality. We want to explore groups, explore SharePoint and OneDrive, things we haven't fully rolled out just because, again, without the AD consolidation, there's not a full control over that. And our CISO loses what very little hair he has left. So we're trying to roll that out in a secure manner. But again, there's a clamoring for this functionality and this technology. And we want to be able to deliver that, listen to our customers and our new kinder, gentler Division of Information Technology and deliver what they need to get done. I'd say consistently we've invested in some good edge technologies. That's always been a strength of ours, so that outer crust is good. The threats from within are where we really fall down. What's running inside our network? We had a cybersecurity commission this year, which, unlike in past years where they've been task forces, this actually had budget and some authority behind it. And we were able to get some hardware, but we also need to look at what's going on inside the network. Let's set some policies about what you can and cannot run and the ability for us to enforce it. So I think working with the awareness at the senior management level is certainly greater, giving us a little more teeth to be able to say, hey, you can't just plug in your Mac, go into promiscuous mode and see everything we have on the network. So we're trying to work on getting those things hammered out as well. From other perspectives in cybersecurity, a lot of the next generation stuff, I would say. That's, again, to gain visibility on the inside. We have a next gen firewall from the outside. What about some NAC, some endpoint technology where we hadn't looked at that before? There's lots of different vendors that give you very good visibility on everything in and out, east-west traffic. Something we don't generally monitor, going just from server to server and finding out that there are things there that we didn't know about. So I'd say that's our biggest challenge. It's funny you mentioned that. We have the new senior management that came down to meet with us had a whole topic at our senior management meeting about security versus innovation. AKA, why aren't you giving me all these awesome toys that everybody I see out in the world and on commercials? So we have a more progressive administration now. So I think that's helping us innovate. Staffing challenges, I think that we'll bring up. That makes it difficult to innovate and run a data center with a small group of people. But I think the people that are in now, we have a chief digital officer as well as a CIO now, and I think that's allowing the chief digital officer to look at some of the overarching projects, some of the new technologies that I can bring up and have him investigate and maybe invest in. We also have a chief innovation officer now. He works kind of outside of IT. He's more of an overall, but obviously very in tune with what's going on in other states. So I think that's helped bring awareness to it. And then they're actually engaging IT for a change, saying, hey, what can we do with this? The Internet of Things that we're talking about at this conference, fantastic possibilities for both states and other municipalities. So I think it's more of an awareness and then a commitment to we have to get the day-to-day stuff done, but also they're letting us have a little bit of time to innovate, test some things, and then bring back our results to them. Staffing is, and I'm sure you've not heard this before from any of the states, but we certainly are, we're reducing the numbers. That's what the administration wants to see. They're concerned about the bottom line. We're not repurposing or retraining the people I think we need to, where we still have a lot of COBOL programmers, a lot of people that supported the mainframe, and those technologies, while they're going away, that counts against our FTE count. So we're not able to have web content people, SharePoint managers, people overseeing some of the newer technologies that I think could really help us. So finding a way to maybe recruit and retain some talent that certainly could help us in those areas, but also retrain some of the talent we have. That's been a major problem. To get around that a little bit, certainly through automation, we've been able to do that. But we're going to a lot more managed services, a lot more hosted services where, running a data center, you don't want to run yourself out of business, but certainly to be agile enough and to be able to answer the demand without more people. We've had to look in that direction. And I think everybody's going to be in a hybrid state at some point. We're going to have half their stuff in the cloud, half their stuff in the data center, and see where there's a nice balance there somewhere. The other challenge, I think, with centralization and with Office 365 has been something we didn't really anticipate, but legal. And our role in e-discovery and APRA requests, FOIA requests. There's been a lot more demand put on, and no more staff, by the way, for these investigations about anything. Now that we capture everybody's email all the time, and it's in and out, and we can absolutely do a lot more discovery. But should IT be in that role? So we've had these discussions with legal saying, we're kind of the custodians of the data. We shouldn't also be, we got the keys to the castle. We sort of need to be impartial. Legal saying the same thing. Well, we're the legal people that are going to be taking these things to court. We shouldn't be in the middle. So we think we've come up with a plan where we have an auditing department, and they may be able to forward somebody to us that can be that third party, sort of impartial, but impartial party to perform these discoveries without tainting the chain of evidence or any of those fun things. But those are challenges we never had when we were so decentralized, and it was great just to say, no, we don't have the ability to do that. So we can't say that anymore, the technology's there. That was an unanticipated challenge that seems to be something we're trying to deal with now.